Today I was presented some tobacco in here. Now I'm going to talk a little bit of the little people. We call them Mēmēkwēysīsak back home, which is like leprechauns for the Irish and stuff, dwarves, different places will have different names for them, but then every country had them. And then a lot of them have lost their culture and stuff, or just didn't acknowledge them and stuff. And I know the Irish, I got friends out there, and then they acknowledge the little people out there. And they help you with the different things out there. And then my place out there, there's a hole that's south of my place, and that's where they live out there. They live in different places, and the waterway is close to their doorway to the other side where they live. And they help people if they need help, and then they work with stone too. And then just like a stone, you'll see it's hard rock, and with them, it's just like Play-Doh. They can shape the stone into something that you want. They make tools, knives or tomahawk things, hammers, like that, different things that they can shape the rock with. They'll just move it around and pass it to you. Once you get it, it's hard rock again. But with them, it's easier for them to shape. And a lot of people are scared of them because they're the spiritual part of them. And it's not like you can go look for them and see them if you want to find them. You'll see them if they want to be seen. It's a spirit, and then they'll come up to you and stuff. And then I myself have seen some years ago out there, and then around my place, because I live in their area, they come around the house lots and stuff, and they have had people at the house that got scared to come out there, and some of them won't even camp at my place because they've seen the little people there. I call them the little people because it's hard to say Mēmēkwēysīsak in a different language like that. But anyways, for us, when we've seen them out there, like, it's a big honor for them, and they like silver things like keys or nail clippers, stuff like that, keychains, like anything that's shiny objects, and they steal that off you. And then we'll lose a bunch of stuff at the house, and all of a sudden one day they're on top of the counter or on top by the dishwasher downstairs, not dishwasher, but by the laundry room. They'll be piled up in one pile, all the stuff they have taken. So we give them offerings of little candies and stuff, and we go down to where they live. But anyways, I'll tell you a couple of short stories of what the incidents we had out there. One of them is this young girl that stayed with us all the time. But she was walking over, all of a sudden it was in the springtime when there's the snow's melting, and at night it freezes up. There's patches of ice on the road, so she just walking away, just happy. Kids are. It hits that patch of ice, boom, her feet go up and bang, falls on her back. She got winded. She can't breathe, and she's looking straight up in the sky because after she got winded, and then she looked to her right. She could hear people laughing, and it's like that. And she gets up, she's looking around, and then she saw these two little people. They were about 3 feet tall, and they had their hands over their mouth. They were laughing at her. And then when the little people saw her looking, boom, just like a bullet, they were just fast. It gone, took off to the south. And she come running in the house, and you can hear the steps like this. Boom, she ran up into the house, slammed the door shut. She had her arms on both sides of the door. She was huffing and puffing. They're out there, they're out there, they're out there. She couldn't talk. What? Calm down. You're safe. They're out there, she kept saying. She couldn't talk. So it took me about 5 to 10 minutes to calm her down. And then she finally tells me the story about these little people that she saw, and they were laughing at her. Anyways, I told her, they're not going to hurt you. They're good. They're always there to help you. But she'd walk home at night. After that, she wouldn't walk home. We'd have to drive her home across the road because she was scared to walk home. And then about a week later, there's some people there. I told him that girl happened to be in the house. She was in the living room, and then us guys were on the table around the kitchen who were talking. I said, "See that young girl there?" "Yeah." "Well, last week this happened to her, like about the little people." And I told them, and they started laughing. And that girl kind of angry at us. "That wasn't funny," because she was still scared from what had happened. And even another friend of mine came out. He camped out there. Him and his wife and his kids were camped across the bedroom. There's another bedroom there. So they camped in there. And all of a sudden, during the night, she hears the kids laughing. he gets up here. His son is playing with them little people there. One of them. Oh, Smokes, he got really scared. He just got on his hands and knees there and he started praying that, don't take my son, don't take my son. He was scared. But us, we were used to it. And here next time he opened his eyes, that little guy's gone, just his son was there. So in the morning he gets up, his eyes are just big. Oh, you know what you have in that room? What? I said, them little people, they were playing with my son. I said, oh yeah. I said, I wouldn't, never got me excited or freaked out or anything like it would somebody else, but because I've seen him before and I know the company we've had seen him at the house. And there's a lot of different people that have incidences of it at the house. But then the other one was my son. He was downstairs and he knew they were there. He'd see them running, but they're real quick like that, they're gone. And then they hung around in the laundry room out there. He was sleeping on the couch. And they always, when he's laying on the couch, they're rubbing his hair all the time. Or his feet, they kind of rub his feet in the bottom. Then he got tired of them out there. So when that one night he got brave, he started giving them heck, don't bother me, get out of here. And what they do, they go and kick the back of the couch, and he went flying about 4 feet onto the floor. And that kind of freaked him out because, when they kicked him off of there, and then he come up the stairs and he wouldn't sleep downstairs for 2 years. He stayed upstairs. And then one day, after 2 years of being upstairs, he goes, Dad, where's your sweetgrass and where's your smudge? He asked me for the medicine. So I said, when God said, what do you need it for? I said, I'm going to go clean up the basement. I'm going to smudge it. I'm taking my basement back. He goes, so that was kind of funny for me because he kind of freaked out. So anyways, he ended up, he went downstairs and he's smudged the basement, and he ended up moving back downstairs, and still today that they're still around there and stuff. And of course we just grew up with them, so it's not like anything crazy or amusing. It's like they're there, and we're the ones that moved into their area, so I got to accept it that I'm there. I don't try and get rid of them. Why? They're there to help you out when you need help. But every community, like every country all over the world had them. When I went to Hawaii, they talked about them out there too. And I got friends from Ireland out there. They talk about that, and then they've seen one at the airport out there. There's one tree out there that they live by that tree. So they talk about that out there regularly. So, stuff like that. It's not like just a one incident out there. Like you go to any First Nations area, and then they'll talk about that. Up north, at the lakes, there's one lake up there that they have all the offerings that they go give to the little people out there. When I saw them, there was 5 of them altogether. There's 3 of them that came and got me from the house out there, and then they were looking for a horse. I had a small horse there, and then they used to play with that little pony. It was the miniature horses, and for them, just the right size for them to play with. So I ended up, the reason they come and got me was because they couldn't find that horse, and I had given it away to somebody out by Regina, and they come picked it up. So after that horse was gone, they couldn't find it, so I ended up, they come and got me out there, and then I had to explain to them it was given away. So I felt real bad. I didn't know they were there playing with that horse all the time. So that was my incident was that. And then the 3 that took me down to their home, there's 2 older ones that were there, and then the older ones were real serious. They were strict, not like the 3 young ones that took me there. So they asked what I was doing at their home and stuff, and I didn't go there to bug them. It was the young ones that took me there because they were looking for that horse. And that had to be over 25, maybe close to 30 years ago when that happened with me. And that was my only incidents with them. Then, except for the offerings, I go out there and regularly we go take offerings to them for helping us out. And we don't bother them, they don't bother us. But as I said, they used to come and steal all the little silver stuff, but they'd always bring them back. Then we'd have to go talk to them and go give them some little candies like jelly beans and stuff like that. And they like that, so they'd end up returning our stuff that we'd lose from the house. And you go to a lot of First Nations places, they'll have the similar stories with the little people. So with mine, that's my connection with them is and plus with my stone sculpting, they're always around to help you out because they're fascinated by stone carving and stuff, and they do all that stuff by hand with the carvings. They can shape the rocks by hand, like it's just like Play-Doh for them. So when they're done with the carving or the shape they made, they'll pass it on to you if you want something to use. So a lot of people don't bother them out there. They just go out there and give them their offerings, and they go back to where they're, to their homes and stuff. But then there's a lot of connections all over the First Nations area about that, and a lot of people won't talk about it. And then me, I like sharing my stories with every other thing. But then, they're not there to hurt you. They're there to help you.